If you do anything wrong in your life, and I find out about it, I'm going to try to take everything away from you. And I don't care when I find out. Could be today, tomorrow, 15, 20 years from now. If I find out, you're fucking finished. Who's that? That's you.
So I did not want to go back and forth with Katt Williams like that. That bothered me so bad. That really bothered me.
It was a setup.
Right.
And remember, they tried to kill me this same weekend. Not in jokes. With a real gun in my real face on real camera. Understand I'm losing my life.
If you've touched the internet this week, then you already know the storm circling back around Katt Williams. That old viral clip with talk show host Wanda Smith has resurfaced, and it's spreading like wildfire all over again. You remember the moment, Wanda proudly saying, "I do a really nice broccoli. They love my broccoli, and they love my baked chicken." And Katt instantly flips it on her, roasting her live, asking if anyone has ever actually burned broccoli, clowning her right there on her own set. Now the timeline's in flames, with people accusing Katt of doing more than cracking jokes. They're saying he crushed Wanda's career, a career she spent years building, and some are even calling him straight-up trash for humiliating her that way. What makes it even crazier is the timing. This all blows up right after Katt publicly apologized for mocking Michael Jackson in one of his old stand-up routines. And now fans aren't letting up. They're demanding he extend that same apology to Wanda's family too. But here's where the divide comes in. Not everybody agrees Katt crossed a line. Dave Chappelle stepped up with backup, defending him without hesitation. According to Dave, what went down on Wanda's show wasn't cruelty at all. It was comedy, the raw kind Katt's known for, firing back the way he always does when somebody tries to test him. And Dave didn't stop there. He flipped the blame on fans, calling them out for dragging decade-old clips just to feed the flames of cancel culture today. So let's break this down.
That's why I don't be coming out doing comedy all the time, because y'all niggas is the worst motherfuckers I've ever tried to entertain in my fuck.
What really went down between Katt Williams and Wanda, and why is this decade-old interview suddenly exploding like it just dropped yesterday? Why is Dave Chappelle now stepping in, calling cancel culture out for spinning out of control yet again? Here's the setup. Katt Williams shocked everyone when he publicly apologized to Michael Jackson's family, a move absolutely no one had on their bingo card. He admitted that during his earlier specials, he crossed the line mocking MJ, and looking back now, he regrets those moments deeply. In Katt's own words, he now realizes that a lot of those old jokes weren't comedy, they were exploitation. He said point-blank the industry gave him that stage because they knew he could tear down his own people, even icons like Michael. That confession hit fans like a gut punch. But the moment he said it, social media flipped the switch again. Instead of celebrating his growth, the internet dragged him, calling him a hypocrite and demanding he own up to even more. And right at the top of that list, Wanda Smith. Twitter wasted zero time. One user blasted, "Katt Williams is straight trash for what he did to Wanda Smith," while another piled on with, "I'll never forget when Katt clowned Wanda and the whole city of Atlanta laughed at her expense." Just like that, the focus wasn't even on his apology to MJ anymore. It was back on that viral Wanda showdown. What fans once brushed off as light-hearted roasting is now being reframed as a career-ending humiliation.
This might be the noblest of professions. Robin Williams had a bar that I loved. He said comedy is the only job you can have where you can use everything you know. And that's true. You use more than you know. Use what you think. Use it. Don't be afraid. Don't let these bitch-ass niggas button your lip. Say it anyway.
And the backlash is spinning harder than ever. Yeah, people laughed. But let's be honest, Katt Williams has a long track record of crossing the line from comedy into pure disrespect. And now with Wanda gone, suddenly everybody in Atlanta wants to act like they were always riding for her. Online, folks are even joking that if Wanda could, she'd be haunting those same people now calling her a legend. Still, Katt's not standing out there alone. He's got heavy hitters backing him, including Dave Chappelle himself. And Dave didn't just casually defend him. He went all the way in. He compared the Wanda drama to the backlash he faced over his trans jokes, saying, Comedy is the last place left where you can truly speak your mind, and no comedian should ever let themselves be silenced. That statement struck a nerve with fans. But here's the kicker. This whole thing isn't only about cancel culture. There's a darker side barely anyone mentions. Katt once claimed Wanda and her husband actually tried to run up on him over a joke. Crazy, right? To really get how deep this beef goes, you've got to rewind to September 2018. That's when Katt and fellow comedian Red Grant pulled up to Frank and Wanda in the morning, while Red was promoting shows in Atlanta. On paper, it was supposed to be just a quick 20-minute radio spot.
Wherever you at under the sound of my voice, do you have a real co-worker?
Right.
Do you have a ratchet friend? Do you have a sister? Do you have a cousin? Do you have a nephew? Do you have a niece? Is they so ghetto? When did that become marketable? Knock it off. They like her because she want to sleep with a white man. That's why the only thing she said was, I want to give it to Brad Pitt. The only thing before that in the movie with me is I slept with this white man and I got a white baby. She had a white husband for the 14 years she been doing comedy, and then all of a sudden divorced him, then said he abused her, then wrote a book, then said he didn't, and then now we're at Brad Pitt. So hey, you can say whatever you want. She says she got a disease, but JJ, don't nobody check for that. I support Linnell, Melanie Camacho, Miss Laura, all the people that got skipped over in the list between now and then. There's no shade for nobody. We are in the only business where, as a black woman, what you look like is not supposed to be held against you. And time again, they show you that you can be sidetracked by anything light-skinned.
Instead, it spiraled into V103's biggest viral moment ever. And if you've seen the clip, you know exactly why. Katt flipped that interview upside down the second Wanda threw a jab his way, and missed. At first, it played out smooth, like a standard back-and-forth conversation. But the vibe flipped almost instantly. What should have been a light-hearted chat turned into a roasting match, with Katt hitting Wanda with punch after punch, never missing a beat. By the end, fans were in tears laughing, Wanda was visibly frustrated, and Katt had stamped one of the most infamous viral moments in comedy history. The fallout? That clip has shadowed him for years, and it refuses to die down. Katt didn't pull a single punch when he set his sights on Tiffany Haddish, calling out how she secured that massive Netflix deal without ever putting in the grind of a full-blown comedy tour. He went as far as saying nobody could name a single original joke Tiffany had ever written. From there, Katt zoomed out, painting a bigger picture, how the industry constantly skips over seasoned black women comedians while someone like Tiffany gets a fast pass straight to the spotlight. In Katt's eyes, Tiffany's rise wasn't about talent or originality. It was about being chosen. He claimed she was handpicked as a safe bet for white audiences, a face that executives knew wouldn't ruffle feathers. That's when Wanda jumped into the mix, clapping back that Tiffany's glow-up had nothing to do with favoritism and everything to do with her being authentic, relatable, and real. But Katt wasn't letting up. He doubled down hard, saying Tiffany only rose for two reasons: her constant jokes about dating white men and the privilege of having lighter skin. That's when the vibe shifted fast. Wanda tried to flip the script by throwing shade about whether Katt even knew how to cook for his kids. But instead of brushing it off, Katt pounced, firing back with zero mercy. He clowned her cooking, saying boiling broccoli doesn't make you a chef, and dragged her a baked chicken like it wasn't even worth a mention. Then he went for the jugular, roasting her looks, snapping about her hair, and mocking her gnarled fingers, daring her to run them through his 19-inch perm-free locks. The energy in the studio got heavy. You could literally feel the tension crackling through the airwaves. By the time Wanda was scrambling to defend herself, Katt was already in overdrive, hitting her with one savage line after another. His closer, a cold-blooded jab that sealed the moment. That's dope, you cook. But do you even cook for your kids? And just like that, the roast crossed over from comedy into legend, stamped forever in internet history. For a split second, it looked like Katt and Wanda were laughing it off, cooling down the heat. But just when the vibe felt light, Katt dropped a curveball out of nowhere, cracking jokes about Wanda's kids and flipping the whole interview into a one-sided roast session. Wanda smiled through it, but you could see the anger bubbling underneath. She tried firing back, dragging up Katt's pass arrest and even clowning his hair, but that play backfired instantly and only made things worse. By the end, Wanda couldn't hold it in.
Wanda Jones on.
Get this inmate out of here.
If you can't get your blood pressure down, you can't call me down.
Whatever, little mama.
If your cholesterol is 600,
Whatever, little mama.
I'm Lil Mama's baby daddy.
No, you little mama.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey,
And
girl.
what are you, girl? You probably shouldn't talk about sizes.
Oh, that's okay.
You big on the radio.
That's right. And you're big
Turn
in
it
prison.
down.
And you're
Yes,
big
ma'am.
in prison.
I've never been to prison.
You have
19
several
felonies,
times.
no convictions.
Yeah,
Knock it off. Prison and jail aren't the same. No.
She snapped with one last shot, calling him Lil Mama and even hinting at his sexuality. But Katt shut that down cold. It was brutal watching Wanda get roasted on her own platform. He even dropped a stinger that cut deep. Hey, Wanda, get this inmate out of here. And just like that, the interview went from awkward to infamous, leaving Wanda stuck in a viral storm. That's when things took a dangerous turn. Wanda wasn't letting the humiliation slide, and the beef spilled out of comedy into real life. Allegedly, she sent her husband and son after Katt, and it all popped off on September 15th, 2018, outside the Atlanta Comedy Theater. Reports say Lamarus, her husband, pulled up in the parking lot and flashed a weapon on Katt. Security footage later surfaced, showing Lamarus chasing Katt down before storming inside the building. According to police, Lamarus admitted he ran after Katt but denied pulling the gun. Still, the mess was undeniable. What started as jokes ended up as a parking lot standoff. Lamarus later tried downplaying it, claiming he only dropped the weapon while running, while Wanda pushed her own version on air. She said Katt came to disrespect her, and her husband was only defending her in front of what she called a largely homosexual fan base. But that excuse backfired instantly. Using gay as an insult in Atlanta, one of the biggest black LGBTQ+ hubs, didn't sit right with anyone. And when TMZ dropped the surveillance tape showing Lamarus clearly holding a gun and chasing Katt into a grocery store, the backlash erupted. Wanda and her husband weren't just catching smoke, they were drowning in it. Katt later told it straight. They tried to kill me that weekend. Not with jokes, with a real gun, in my real face, on real camera. He even compared it to the Will Smith slap, saying if it happened to anyone else, the world would have exploded. But because it was him, people brushed it off like it didn't matter. The footage may not have shown Lamarus pointing the gun, but the damage to Wanda's brand was already done. By January 2019, Wanda was suddenly fired from V103 Atlanta. No official reason was given, but the rumor mill pinned it on that viral blow-up, her Lil Mama jab, and the way she weaponized sexuality in the middle of the feud. As for Katt, he stayed silent. No celebration, no comment. He let time do the talking while Wanda's career quietly unraveled in the background. Fast forward to January 2024, and Katt finally spilled his truth on Club Shay Shay. According to him, the beef didn't even start on air. It started before the cameras rolled. He claimed Wanda promised not to bring up his kids or his legal issues. But the moment Tiffany Haddish's name came up, she broke that deal, taking jabs at his family and his past. That's when Katt switched gears, and the whole thing spiraled out of control. And that's the difference between Katt and somebody like Dame Dash. After splitting from Jay-Z, Dame's wins never stacked up the same. People stopped asking what he had going on because the truth was, not much. Katt, though, even with the drama chasing him, he kept moving like nothing could touch him. Every appearance was big, every moment felt calculated. He never stopped shining, even when the world tried to cancel him. Katt understood the game better than anyone. When you're building something, you can't disappear. You've got to stay visible, stay sharp, and make every move look major. That's why every time the internet tried to bury him, Katt doubled down, pulled up louder, and kept the spotlight glued to himself. Meanwhile, the ones who couldn't match that energy, like Wanda, ended up fading out of the frame. Dame's silence made it too easy for people to forget him, and when his name did pop up, it was almost always tied to an L. That's the difference between those who survive cancellation storms and those who fade away, how you move when the world's counting you out. Because if you don't keep stacking wins, people stop checking for you. They don't just ignore you. They sit back replaying your mistakes like it's primetime entertainment. And once that bankrupt tag gets linked to your name, the questions come flooding in. Why are you not cracking, bro? Why are you not doing well? Suddenly, the timeline is filled with folks talking down but nobody offering help. It's cold. But that's the reality of fame when the shine fades. Some stars keep the energy alive no matter what, while others let the silence write their story for them. That's the exact spiral Wanda got caught in. Katt claimed she tried to humiliate him in front of her gay fan base, and he swears that's the real reason she eventually lost her radio spot. He even said the parking lot showdown with her husband felt like a setup, like Wanda tried to line him up over nothing more than a roast. What started as jokes snowballed into something way darker. Fast forward to October 2024, and Wanda tragically passed away just one day after celebrating her 58th birthday. Katt didn't post a single condolence, no statement, no tribute, just silence. And the internet split right down the middle. Some said it was a right move, because if he spoke, people would have called him a hypocrite. Others argue we don't know if he reached out privately to a family behind the scenes. The mystery only fueled more debate. Now, with social media digging up this beef and trying to cancel Katt all over again, even after he almost lost his life in that parking lot, it hits like deja vu. Dave Chappelle warned about this exact cycle, and now it's playing out in real time. Cancel culture trying to destroy comedy one clip at a time. And Katt stuck right back in the crosshairs. So here's the question. Does Katt owe Wanda's family the same apology he gave to Michael Jackson's? Or are people stretching too far, trying to drag him into another fake cancel moment? Drop your take in the comments. Smash that like, hit subscribe, and share this video, because this conversation is nowhere near finished.